Hello, my name is John Pryor. I'm from Millbrook High School, and today I'm going to be taking you on a tour of the North Carolina Confederate Monument. I will be talking to you about the history and the architecture of the monument. This monument is located on the west entrance of the North Carolina State Capitol building in downtown Raleigh. This monument can also be found on the right side of South Salisbury Street. First, I am going to talk to you about the history of the monument, mainly focusing on its creator.
Go.
In the year 1892, state legislators endorsed the goal of building a Confederate monument in Capitol Square. Secretary of State Octavius Coke held a meeting for members of both the Ladies' Memorial and the North Carolina Monumental Association to launch a campaign to erect a memorial to deceased Confederate soldiers from North Carolina. Leopold von Miller II was elected to be the main sculptor of the project and began in 1892 and worked for 3 years until its completion on May 20th, 1895. This monument was unveiled by Julia Jackson Christian, granddaughter of Stonewall Jackson. The date of the unveil was also equally important in the fact that it was the date in history in 1861 when North Carolina elected its delegates that were to attend the secessional convention. This meant that North Carolina sent its delegates to announce North Carolina's formal intent to secede from the Union. The Ordinance of Secession is the general name given to the documents drafted and ratified from 1860 and 1861 by each of the 13 southern states and the territory of Arizona formally seceding from the United States of America. This was a major part for the history of America because North Carolina's secession ignited the spark which started the American Civil War while also stating their allegiance to the Southern Confederacy. Now I'm going to talk about the history behind the North Carolina Confederate Memorial. A few years after the war came to an end, the monument was erected in order to commemorate both men young and old who sacrificed their lives in one of the most bloody conflicts in American history. The monument was placed here because North Carolina had one of the highest percentages of enlistments during the Civil War, as well as the longest serving members during the war for the Confederacy. In total, there were 750,000 troops enlisted for the Confederacy out of all the southern states. And of that, approximately 150,000 of them were from North Carolina between the ages of 15 and 49 during when the Civil War began. The monument is also here to commemorate the North Carolinian Confederate soldiers who lost their lives during the American Civil War. Approximately 40,000 of those men lost their lives during the duration of the war. One of the first to pass was 19-year-old Private Henry Lawson Wyatt from Company A, 1st North Carolina Volunteers. He was killed in action in the Battle of Big Bethel, Virginia, on June 10, 1861. Now we are going to discuss the architecture of the North Carolina Confederate Monument. This monument is located on the grounds of the North Carolina Capitol building. This is important because it shows that the government supported North Carolina's decision to enter the war on the side of the Confederacy. The first thing that you will notice when looking at the monument is the 75-foot tall obelisk made of granite and concrete. First, you'll notice in the middle is a large circular bronze object. This is the North Carolinian state seal. Located on the monument, there are 3 bronze statues: the cavalryman, soldier, and artilleryman. First, you will see the representation of the cavalry. A soldier wields a sword. The second statue represents the artillery, and it is a soldier holding a cannon ramrod. At the summit, representing the infantry, a soldier stands at ease with his rifle by his side, symbolic of peace. Also, there is a large stone near the base with the inscription reading, "First at Bethel, last at Appomattox," representing the forwardness and tenacity of North Carolina's soldiers during the Civil War. Lastly, located at the base are 2 32-pound guns.
You're already recorded them, I know.
Here and here. These 2 32-pound guns were mounted at Fort Caswell, North Carolina, when they were dismounted by exploding magazines when when the Confederates left that fort. They signify North Carolinians' strength and tenacity during the war, and at the same time, they commemorate those who lost their lives. Thank you for coming on this tour of the North Carolina Confederate Monument. I hope you learned something today about the history and architecture of it. So long. Farewell.